The story of life on Earth is a complex tapestry woven through billions of years, with each thread representing a pivotal moment in the evolution of species. One of the most significant chapters in this grand narrative is the sudden explosion of animal life that occurred approximately 575 million years ago. This event, known as the Avalon explosion, has long been thought to be triggered by a substantial increase in oxygen levels in the deep oceans. However, recent scientific investigations are challenging this long-held belief, forcing paleontologists and geologists to reconsider the conditions that gave rise to complex multicellular life on our planet. The Avalon explosion marks a crucial turning point in Earth's history. Prior to this event, life on Earth was predominantly microscopic, consisting mainly of bacteria and algae, with occasional larger, but still relatively simple, organisms. However, the fossil record from this period reveals a dramatic shift. Suddenly, the oceans were teeming with a diverse array of complex, multicellular creatures. These early animals included the feather-like rangeomorphs, peculiar disc-shaped organisms, and what may have been primitive sponges or coral-like cnidarians such as Heyutia. Some of these organisms reached impressive sizes, growing up to 2 meters in length. This rapid diversification of life forms has fascinated scientists for decades. The prevailing theory to explain this biological revolution has centered around a significant increase in oxygen levels in the deep oceans. The logic behind this theory is compelling. Animals require oxygen for their metabolic processes, and larger, more complex organisms generally need more oxygen to sustain their bodily functions. Therefore, an oxygen-rich environment seemed to be a prerequisite for the evolution of these early animal forms. The evidence supporting this oxygen-driven theory of evolution came from a geological phenomenon known as the Shu-Ram excursion. This event is characterized by a massive, worldwide shift in carbon isotopes recorded in rocks dating back to the time of the Avalon explosion. Scientists hypothesize that this carbon isotope anomaly was caused by changes in the Earth's carbon cycle, potentially triggered by a sudden influx of oxygen into the deep oceans. The proposed mechanism was that the extra oxygen would have reacted with organic carbon stored in the deep ocean, such as the remains of dead algae. This reaction would have released the stored carbon, dispersing it throughout the world's oceans and ultimately leaving its signature in the rock record. This explanation seemed to tie together neatly with the emergence of complex animal life, as the oxygen that supposedly caused the Shu-Ram excursion could also have fueled the evolution of oxygen-demanding multicellular organisms. However, a groundbreaking study published in 2023 has cast doubt on this long-accepted narrative. The research, which focused on the very rocks in Oman that originally provided evidence for the Shu-Ram excursion, suggests that the carbon isotope shift, and by extension, the explosion of animal biodiversity, occurred without any significant increase in oxygen levels. This finding directly contradicts the theory that has dominated scientific thinking for decades. The study's methodology was rigorous and multifaceted. The researchers didn't just re-examine the carbon isotopes in the Shu-Ram formation rocks. They also analyzed 2 other key elements: iron and thallium. Using advanced techniques such as X-ray fluorescence and mass spectrometry, the scientists were able to determine the specific types of iron and thallium present in the rock samples. These analytical methods are powerful tools in the paleontologist's arsenal. X-ray fluorescence works by bombarding a sample with X-rays and observing how it glows in response, while mass spectrometry separates particles based on their mass-to-charge ratio. Both techniques provide detailed information about the elemental composition of a sample, offering insights into the environmental conditions under which the rocks formed. The results of these analyses were surprising and potentially revolutionary. The specific forms of iron and thallium found in the samples could only have formed in oxygen-poor water. This finding stands in stark contrast to the oxygen-rich environment that scientists had long assumed existed during the time of the Avalon explosion. The implications of this discovery are profound. If the Shu-Ram excursion occurred in an oxygen-poor environment, and if the emergence of complex animal life coincided with this event, then it follows that these early multicellular organisms evolved in conditions with much less oxygen than previously thought. This revelation forces us to reconsider our understanding of the requirements for complex life and the resilience of early animals. The new findings suggest that the first multicellular organisms were able to develop and thrive in far harsher conditions than we had given them credit for. Rather than evolving in response to favorable environmental changes, these creatures may have emerged in spite of challenging circumstances. This paints a picture of early life forms that were remarkably adaptable and robust, capable of flourishing, even in oxygen-depleted waters. However, it's important to note that this study, while compelling, does not definitively solve the mystery of early animal evolution. Other researchers continue to argue that there is still a role for increased oxygen levels in this story. The scientific community is now grappling with how to reconcile these conflicting lines of evidence. This ongoing debate highlights the nature of scientific inquiry, particularly in fields like paleontology that deal with events from the distant past. As new evidence emerges and analytical techniques improve, scientists must be willing to challenge established theories and revise their understanding of historical events. The investigation into the origins of complex life on Earth is very much like a detective story, with researchers piecing together clues from rocks, fossils, and chemical signatures to reconstruct events that occurred hundreds of millions of years ago. The new findings raise a host of intriguing questions. If oxygen wasn't the key factor driving the evolution of multicellular life, what was? What other environmental conditions might have facilitated the Avalon explosion? How did these early animals manage to thrive in oxygen-poor waters, and what metabolic adaptations might they have possessed? These questions open up exciting new avenues for research. Scientists may now turn their attention to investigating alternative factors that could have triggered the explosion of animal life. This could include exploring the roles of other chemical elements, examining changes in ocean chemistry beyond just oxygen levels, or investigating how early life forms might have developed unique adaptations to low-oxygen environments. The study also underscores the importance of revisiting and reanalyzing key geological sites with new techniques and perspectives. The Shuram Formation in Oman, which provided the original evidence for the Shuram excursion, has now yielded new insights that challenge our previous interpretations. This serves as a reminder that even well-studied locations can still hold secrets and surprises, waiting to be uncovered by innovative research methods. Furthermore, this research highlights the interconnected nature of different scientific disciplines. The study of early animal evolution draws not only on paleontology and biology, but also on geology, chemistry, and advanced analytical techniques. It's through this interdisciplinary approach that scientists can piece together a more complete picture of Earth's ancient history. As researchers continue to investigate this fascinating period in Earth's history, we may see further revisions to our understanding of how life evolved on our planet. The possibility that complex animals first emerged in oxygen-poor environments opens up new possibilities for considering where we might find life elsewhere in the universe. If early Earth life was more tolerant of harsh conditions than we thought, it could expand our criteria for potentially habitable environments on other planets and moons. In conclusion, the recent study challenging the oxygen-driven theory of early animal evolution serves as a powerful reminder of the dynamic nature of scientific knowledge. It demonstrates how new evidence can overturn long-held beliefs and open up exciting new areas of inquiry. While many questions remain unanswered, this research has ignited a renewed interest in the conditions that gave rise to complex life on Earth. As scientists continue to unravel this ancient mystery, we can expect further twists and turns in the story of life's evolution. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding the remarkable journey that led from simple, single-celled organisms to the rich diversity of life we see on Earth today. The tale of the Avalon explosion and the Shuram excursion reminds us that the history of life on our planet is far more complex and surprising than we might have imagined, full of resilient creatures that thrived against the odds and set the stage for the vibrant biosphere we inhabit today.